$315,600 for one card. And here's the part that breaks your brain. It's a championship trophy that no champion was ever given. By the end of this video, you'll know how a card game that didn't even exist 4 years ago sold out the entire planet, and why its most valuable prize is one you can't win, can't buy, and were never supposed to see. But to understand that one card, you have to understand a story 25 years in the making. The fourth biggest card game on Earth did not exist when Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Already had decades of history behind them. The One Piece card game was announced in March 2022. It's barely 4 years old. So how does a newborn outmuscle giants 3 times its age? Because it was never really new. July 22nd, 1997. A young cartoonist named Eiichiro Oda publishes Chapter 1, a chapter called Romance Dawn in Weekly Shonen Jump. One artist, one pirate story, one dream, a kid who wants to be king of the pirates. And that story became something no comic in history had ever been. 416,566,000. That's the exact Guinness certified number of copies printed of One Piece. The most for any comic series by a single author ever. Not a rounded half billion, that precise. And a number that big isn't a comic anymore. It's an army, waiting to be sold something. Because the audience was already there. The anime has run since 1999, over 1,100 episodes in more than 80 countries. So when the cards finally arrived, Bandai didn't have to build fans. It inherited an army that already knew every character on every card. So on the 25th anniversary, they lit the fuse. And they didn't do it slowly. July 2022, 4 starter decks dropped at once. The Straw Hats, the Worst Generation, the Warlords, and the Animal Kingdom. Instant factions to fight over. Then the first booster, Romance Dawn, named after the very chapter that started it all. The timing was almost unfair. Because that same month, August 2022, volume 103, the manga crossed 500 million copies. The card game and the comic hit their milestones in the same breath, and each one fed the other. And then the shortages began. December 2nd, 2022, the worldwide English launch. And it was the day boxes started vanishing from shelves everywhere outside Japan. Because demand didn't just meet supply, it ate it alive. Allocations ran dry. Boxes sold out in minutes, then reappeared online at 2 to 3 times retail. And here's why it never eased up. Bandai prints One Piece on the same finite presses as Dragon Ball and Digimon, a hard ceiling no matter how hot demand runs. So the stores fought back, with scissors. Official shops in the US started tearing the shrink wrap off the boxes right at the register, so scalpers couldn't flip them sealed. A card game so hot that "we'll open it for you" became an anti-scalping weapon. But the frenzy spilled somewhere no one expected. In 2026, an issue of Weekly Shonen Jump bundled a single free Luffy promo card and sold out nationwide, even after printing 500,000 extra copies. Fans who just wanted to read a different manga's finale couldn't get the magazine. The free card was worth more than the comic it came in. And this is a game barely 4 years old. So how big has it actually gotten? It climbed to the top of TCG Player in about a year, and in the fall of 2025, on the TCG Player North American marketplace, One Piece outsold Yu-Gi-Oh!, landing at number 3, behind only Magic and Pokemon. 25 years to build a giant, 3 years to walk right past one. And all that selling adds up. Now, an honest moment. Bandai won't reveal the card game's exact revenue, so we won't guess. What's confirmed is that Bandai is a top 3 trading card publisher on Earth, and the One Piece brand overall is worth over 139 billion yen. Anything past that is an estimate, and we'll call it 1. But money isn't why people fell in love. The game itself plays like nothing before it. Here's the whole idea in one card. It's called a Dawn, and every single turn, a Dawn is a choice. Rest it to pay for a card, that's your money, or attach it to a character for 1,000 extra power, that's your muscle. Magic makes you save mana. Pokemon makes you attach energy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Charges nothing. One Piece hands you one card and asks, money or muscle? And the strangeness doesn't stop there. In most games, losing life is pure loss. Not here. Your life total is a face-down stack of cards, And when your leader gets hit, the top card doesn't vanish. It goes into your hand. You literally get more dangerous the closer you are to losing. And here's the second twist. Your hand is your shield. Any card in it can be thrown in front of an attack to block the damage, but every card you spend defending is a card you can't play to win. So how do you actually take someone down? In one sentence, knock their life stack down to 0, then land one more hit on their leader. That's it. Or make them run out of cards to draw. It sounds simple, and that's completely on purpose. Because Bandai built the cleanest on-ramp in the hobby. One leader, exactly 50 cards, a separate 10-card Dawn deck, color-matched, 4 copies max, plus a free app that teaches you as you play. Easy to start. But the cards people actually chase, they're not the powerful ones at all. The priciest cards in One Piece aren't stronger in a match. They're called Manga Rares, Oda's own black and white comic artwork printed on foil. They're the rarest thing in a pack. You can open 100 boxes and never see one. The comic itself literally becomes the treasure. Which brings us all the way back to that $315,000 trophy. Remember the card from the first minute? It's the English Gold Luffy from the 2023 World Championship prize set. But here's the twist. The English Gold version was never actually handed out. The real champion got the Japanese one. This copy escaped the printing floor. A trophy nobody won. Graded a perfect CGC Pristine 10. Sold in December 2025 for $315,600. And it's not even the only 6-figure card. Proof it isn't just about Luffy. The Textured Kaido, a 2023 runner-up prize, one of only a handful on Earth, sold for $111,020. Even the villain cracks 6 figures. But the rarest prizes all share one rule. You can't buy them, you win them. The serialized Luffy top prize card exists in just 700 numbered copies, handed only to tournament winners. One sold in February 2026 for $59,100. The prizes are the product. Play well enough, and you earn a card worth a car. But the real dream is the one anyone can chase. Because you can pull 5 figures out of a $4 pack. The Gear 5 Luffy, Sun God Nika, the biggest moment in the whole story, has a verified sale of about $22,570 in perfect grade. Same character as the record card, pullable by anyone. And sometimes the free ones get expensive too. In 2025, they gave away about 40,000 Dodgers One Piece Luffy promos, free, at Dodger Stadium. A graded one later sold for $5,300. Free and rare don't stay opposites for long, and where you buy a card changes what it's worth. Take the exact same Luffy alternate art. In Japanese, it's under $100. In English, it's around $800, because English is the tournament legal version in the West. Same art, the language alone moves the price. So how do you know if the one in your drawer is worth anything? Look for the tiny star. A small star above the rarity letter means it's an alternate art, roughly 1 in 12 packs. A full black and white manga art foil is a manga rare, about 1 per case and worth 2 to 4 times more. Go check your binder. I'll wait. And if it's real, the whole world will want it graded. The attention has completely shifted to this game. In 1 month alone, the grading company CGC slabbed around 451,000 cards, up 57% from the year before, and ran a dedicated One Piece hot list. But a hot market always attracts crooks. Counterfeits got common enough that Bandai posted an official warning, and CGC issued a specific alert about fake Luffy manga rares. One collector reported losing around $15,000 to fakes bought on Facebook Marketplace. If a deal feels too good, it is. And yet, the biggest names keep buying in. Tom Brady, the 7-time Super Bowl champion, took a roughly 50% stake in a card retail company that now stocks One Piece. There's an official Netflix live-action tie-in set. The most mainstream money on Earth is now in the pirate card business, because the whole thing just keeps accelerating. Luffy card prices rose about 215% in a single year, riding the momentum, making One Piece the fastest rising card game on the planet. And a lot of that traces to one thing. The Netflix live-action series debuted at #1 in 84 countries, the biggest debut of any Netflix title at the time. The audience the cards inherited just kept getting bigger, and every dollar of it traces back to one thing: the manga. So let's slow down. The cards never had to earn love. They inherited it. Every price in this video rides on 600 million comics worth of people who already cared about a boy in a straw hat and the man who gave it to him. And that engine is still accelerating. March 2026, volume 114. One Piece crosses 600 million copies in print, 100 million more in under 4 years. And Oda marked the moment in the strangest, most beautiful way. To celebrate 600 million, Eiichiro Oda wrote the story's final secret on a piece of paper, tore it in half, and sank one half, in a chest, to the bottom of the ocean. For 28 years, he has been drawing a story about a treasure at the bottom of the sea that no one has found. And then he went and put a real one there. So think about what this game really is. The most valuable card is a trophy nobody won. The rarest card is a page of the comic itself. And the story everyone is chasing ends with the treasure at the bottom of the sea. One Piece turned a manga about a dream into cardboard that people fight over. But the treasure was never the card. It was the story that made 500 million people care. And it's still just getting started. From 2026, Bandai is syncing the whole planet's release calendar and reprinting its chase products, trying to grow up faster than any card game ever has, even as players argue it just feeds the scalpers. But for all the money, remember how it started. A chapter called Romance Dawn. One artist, 25 years. It became 4 crews, a sold-out planet, and a trophy worth $315,000 that nobody ever won. The newest giant in the hobby, and it is only getting bigger. If you made it here, drop a like and hit subscribe. Every episode, the true story behind the cards. Every number receipt checked. Because One Piece just proved a brand new game can crash the big 3 in 3 years. Next episode, Disney Lorcana, the game that came for the throne. See you there.